Hi everyone, my name is Horacio Davila, and welcome to Craft Cerveza Talk. We're actually going to record today our second episode. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to everyone that sent me some encouraging words, supporting words about the first episode. It went a lot better than what I expected. So let's get started. My guest today, they're actually my neighbors, um, native from Salinas, East Salinas to be correct. Please welcome Marlene Garcia and Steve Corona, owners and brewers of Brewing Krew here in Salinas, Old Town.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
having us,
Thank you for
Horacio.
having
No,
us.
no, you're welcome. You're welcome. How's everything going for you guys?
It's going well. It's
There we
going
go.
well. It's going good. You know, just dealing with the winter.
Yeah, winter, the winter season, rain season, trying to figure things out, get in the groove again, and then
It's
move
almost gone.
forward.
We're almost out. We're
Oh, yeah,
almost
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yes.
Que te venga
Okay.
el sol.
Well, my first question for both of you guys: what got you guys into brewing? Because I know both of you guys are brewers, not just one. So, what got you guys into brewing? What was that crazy idea one day you hit yourself, or you saw that there's nobody out there doing something different? What got you guys into brewing?
Well, actually, it was Steven. Steven's the one that introduced me into the beer scene. And like we've said this before, where we used to travel up and down California. We would go to different, I guess, even states, right? Visiting different breweries and just trying out their beer. And then we would come home with cases, not 4 packs, but cases of beer.
Jesus.
So, yeah, at one point, it was kind of exhausting for us because it was eating up our bank account. And I just told him, you know what, like you have a really good palate. And I think that, maybe if I bought you a kit, you could get things going and we would stop spending money on other people's beer and then you could just make your own beer and then we'd just be drinking your own beer, right? So I got him an Amazon kit and that's kind of how it started. Then from that Amazon kit, he was able to create, or I guess brew the first batch, right?
Yeah. Dive in, dive in, dive in.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's kind of like how the whole brewing process began for us. And then I guess moving on, I got the crazy idea. I was like, hey, what if we opened a brewery, right?
What if,
So,
huh?
so that's the story of the beginning of Brew and Krew House.
Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah. You guys actually opened March 17, 2022, right?
Yes.
That was your grand opening.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you guys being from Salinas and being a female owned. Actually, by the way, we didn't plan this. I didn't mean to plan this, but Friday was International Women's Day, so it just landed perfectly in the review with you guys. Happy Women's Day.
Thank you. I
I think they
appreciate it.
celebrate it all month, but what does that mean to have a brewery that's actually owned by a female? Um, Brew, you're one of the brewers on the brewery. You must be really proud. I know I was really proud of my mom when she raised us and single-handed and luchona, trabajadora,
Yeah.
emprendedora. So I know what it means to have a female like that in the family. So what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? What do you mean to you guys too?
Being owned and being a woman-owned brewery, to me, it allows it to be what it wants to be loud. Like, women-owned, loud, different, exciting, not so much, ¿cómo se dice? Like apagado.
Yeah.
Más divertido, más
Divertido.
eye-catching. Just because whether you want to give women credit for being creatives and always creating things colorfully and more inviting than men, they do that. So then, as far as beers, también it goes into the beer. She's the one that creates or thinks out ideas, and then she tells me, "Hey, what do you think about this?"
Yeah.
And it might be out of the box a little bit, but me being like more into kind of trying to stick to the norm, she kind of like puts a little bug in there, like, what if? And then we start trying different things, and the beers become creative, the names become creative. The everything in and out of the brew becomes more creative.
Yeah.
So I have to give that to I guess the women creativity, and they're just como se dice, their passion for creating things that are different, and she's a prime example.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Marlene? What does it mean to you?
I think it's one empowering. There's not many women-owned breweries here in Monterey County. Um, the brewery in itself is dedicated to my mom, Graciela Garcia, and to his mother, Angelina Vasquez. So that's why their picture hangs above our door. So I think it's a dedication for our moms more than anything.
Yeah.
And just it's a reminder of like women are beautiful, women are innovators, women are caretakers, and I mean, really, women are the ones that are coming into our place and like making it what it is now.
Yeah.
And I've always said it, and I will always say it, like your number one target is and should be women,
You-
because I mean, let's just be honest, women are the ones that get ready and like, hey, let's go out, let's go do this, and like,
Yeah.
so yeah, very proud of the brewery, and very proud to say that it is women owned.
Yeah.
And like I said, everything that we make there has a purpose, has an intention, and yeah.
And a story, yeah.
And a story. Everything has a story.
There you go.
So everything, everything in our brewery, everything that we pour, the names of the beer, even the colors, everything has a story behind it. So.
There you go. Yeah, and I can agree more with you guys for what you said about it, the decorative aspect. When I started doing my own brewery and decorating, yo no sirvo para eso. I'm calling, my fiance now, or my sister, or my partner's wives. Hey, have your wife come in and help me with this aspect of it. So
yeah.
there's a touch of a woman's touch that's always important, either in your house or a business. I agree with you. And then to your point, I believe that you have to have a powerful woman and to create a powerful man, and you have to. There's no way around it. Powerful woman create powerful men, and it's a cycle that just keeps going and going and going. And I would like to see more female, whether you're Latina, Mexicana, Anglo, or whatever race you are. Just go out there and give it a shot. It doesn't have to be brewing, anything,
Yeah.
anything. Because I know it's not easy. It's and this is a very labor intensive job. So I know she needs your help. I might need your help one of these days. Carrying all those sacks.
Hey, the hoses alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So congratulations to you guys, and to Marlene, to take the
Thank you.
step, to be brave and opening one brewery, woman owned, that gives Salinas a way different vibe, way different perspective, way different way of looking at things. So congratulations to both of you guys.
you.
Second question: what was the first beer you guys brewed? So let's go with you first, Marlene.
So it was most likely a beer that I finished for Steven. That's kind of how it worked with us. The reason why I started brewing was because Steven's work schedule shifted. So it was like, hey, if we want to keep this going, you're going to have to step it up and learn too. So most likely it was a beer that I finished for Steven. But one that I can say that I'm very proud of and that I brewed on my own was a beer that we actually poured in the Steinbeck Homebrew Festival.
Okay.
It was called Tribilin. And it was a play on a Duvalin beer.
I remember that
Yeah.
beer. I do remember that
So
beer.
I'm very proud of that one. We've had a couple of people come in there and say like, hey, when are you going to do the Duvalin beer again? And it makes me happy because I remember telling Steven, what if we did a beer like a Duvalin? And I remember Steven's always been the person to tell me like, maybe not, or, maybe he's the reasonable one. He's the one that like, I'm the risk taker. He's the one that has to calm me down sometimes and be like,
Yeah.
okay, let's take a step back. But yeah, after that, like I said, Steven was like, all right, you want to do it, go for it. And we did it. We poured it at the Steinbeck Homebrew Festival, and it was a success. And so that's the one that I did, and it was a cream ale.
A cream ale.
Yeah.
What about you? What was the first beer that you
Well-
brewed with the kid?
Yeah, the first beer I brewed was with the kid that she got me, and it was a brown ale.
I don't know.
So a brown ale, and I think it was brown ale. It was a brown ale, and we fermented it in a 5-gallon jug, and that thing blew up. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was too warm in the garage, and that thing just
Oh, explotó.
Yeah, so it blew
Okay.
up. We walk in to check on it like after 3 days, and there was a bunch of beer all over the ceilings, all over the wall. But I told her, hey, there's still some beer in there. Let's cap it up, sanitize it, and let's wait for it. After that, I got almost maybe half of what we started, and that was the first beer that we ever, well, I ever brewed. And then give it a taste test, and we're like we did. I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect from a brown ale, so I was like, I guess it's beer. We
Yeah.
made beer. It gave me a buzz. So I was like, we made it.
For sure, for sure, for sure. I'm assuming, and I'm gonna go on a limb on this. Your culture
Yeah.
plays a big role in everything you do when it comes to craft beer, right? Just
Yes.
like my brand, right? Mexicanos, los dos.
Sí.
No, where your parents from? Or were you born in Mexico?
I was born here,
Okay.
pero mi familia es de León, Guanajuato.
There you go, nice.
Y también, I was born here, pero mi familia es de Michoacán.
Yeah. So you guys, I see it all the time. I read it all the time, and I'm like, you guys have a good hold on being, woman-owned, Mexicana-owned. You go showcases all that stuff with the flavors, with your names, just to give people, a couple of samples. Sabor Fresa is one of them. Chica Fresa is another name. Carnaval, which we don't have here, which that's
Corazón. Yeah.
Corazón. Bolis, that one actually intrigued me the most because are you referring to the bolis that we used to eat in
No,
the
we used to
chiquito and
feast,
make?
yeah.
Okay, bolis, corazón. So, yeah, everything gets geared towards that. Culture is very important. So I see it, and I want to congratulate you guys for not holding back, on expressing culture through your beer.
No, yeah, thank you. And I feel like a lot of we have to be completely honest. Another reason why we jumped into the whole brewing and home brewing and wanting to open a space for our beers is to showcase that not all beer has to be the same, and it could have something else to make it pop.
Yeah.
And also, we want to showcase that it was a way of diving into our culture and kind of attract the people from our culture or background that might not know what an IPA is, what's an IPA, or might not know what's craft beer, and kind of try to reel them in with things that might know, so they could come in and try it and understand that there's a little bit more of a spectrum to beer, just rather than just pilsners and light beers.
Yeah.
Something different that might be better, if not, I mean, as good or better, and then has some kind of distinct flavor and profile. That was the initial thought, like, okay, what can we do to attract our community? We need more of our community in this area,
Yeah.
They're the ones that come out, support, so we need to find a way to reel them in
There we go.
by being different.
Yeah, yeah. So the journey of opening a brewery, is it been fun for you guys? Is it interesting? It's been a headache.
All of the above. So when we first were building it, it was a different set of issues and challenges, right? And then when we opened, it was like, okay, we're done. But then it's like the real job began, right? The whole different journey started. So I guess I would say it's been great. I'm not gonna say it's been perfect, but we've been blessed with a very amazing supporting community that has like backed us up in the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, and then I think like anybody, we've been through good and bad, and so.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a different side of things now.
Beer cocktail. Other than myself, I never heard another brewer use that term. It's a trend that will get here. It's coming from Europe. It's already in San Diego. But you guys used it before. There was a trend here. What does that mean, beer cocktail? Sir, I know.
Like one of
No,
my
it's
other creations. So the beer cocktail. So obviously when we first opened up, it was just beer in itself, and then again trying to think outside the box. That's just kind of how my mind works. Always thinking outside the box. I started asking Steven the tough questions, like, "Hey, what if we did this?" And what if we did like a margarita, but instead of having tequila, we do a beer base, right? Beer garita. Then I obviously started doing my research, and I'm like, oh, that's actually a thing. You could actually do that. But initially, the beer cocktail in itself does have a hint of, like, I guess some type of liquor and some type of beer. But I told Steven, obviously, for us, we wouldn't be able to have any hard liquor. It would have to be just beer in itself. So is this something we could create? And again, Steven was like, you do what you got to do, figure it out, and then let me know how that works out.
Yeah.
So then I started messing around, started like, I got my little mixes, got limon, and then just our, like I said, one of our top sellers, which is Simon Limon. I'm like, all right, this kind of has like the limon, like the margarita kind of taste, so let's figure it out. So then that's kind of how it started, the whole beer cocktail things. And then I was like, oh, I had him try it. He's like, okay, maybe we need to add a little bit more of this, more of that. And then there's your margarita.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, Steven, what if we did now like something like a Bloody Mary? And that, I mean, the chavelas in itself, micheladas, that's not nothing new. So again, just using beer in itself. And then we were able to find our mix from Shorty Ceviche Mix. So yeah. But then we were like, once again, moving on. Okay, what if we did, my favorite cocktail was, for a long time, was Moscow Mules. And I told him, what if we did something like a Moscow Mule, but just beer base?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, let's figure it out. He told me again, figure it out. And then I presented it to him. He's like, okay, let's add this, let's add that. And we created like La Mula, which is our take on a Moscow Mule.
I haven't had that one, La Mula. I like the name, La Mula.
And then after that, it was like, okay, the beer mimosas, which is like mimosas. So again, nothing new. So we're like, okay, now let's do different flavors. We have an orange, cranberry, pineapple, and then your traditional grapefruit and orange.
Yeah.
So we started with 4, which is a beer garita, la cerveza preparada, which is like the michelada, la mula, a play on a Moscow Mule, and the beer mimosas, which is like a mimosa just in a beer. So those are our 4 beer cocktail things. And the reason why we brought them was because just to give another option.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what? I don't feel like having just a full pint of beer. I want something more like, half beer, half, mixed cocktails. And then that kind of started the beer cocktail game for us. And then once we started doing our all-themed pop-ups, we were like, I was like, hey, Steven, what if we had different beer cocktails for our different themes that we have at the brewery? And he was like, okay, well, let's do it. And yeah, and that's been awesome to have a partner that says like, figure it out, present it, and then let's make it happen.
I'll work on their magic in the brewery. And then we'll put the players together. In there. They're very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
And touching on the theme, all your beers are very colorful, and I love that. You got red and you got pink. You got, I don't know if you have a blue one or not, but there's very colorful, very bright. And your brewery, it's a theme-driven brewery, right? And I love it. I love it because, like I said, it doesn't give you the same of what you see, right? How's that working out for you guys? Is you see a lot of acceptance? You see a lot of surprise from the people?
I feel like it could be a double-edged sword, just because we're a brewery first and foremost, but as far as creating different environments, I feel like that's a selling point, in the sense that you create something that's ever changing.
Yes.
So you offer something different, something exciting to your hometown. People are gonna gravitate, want to go check it out. But when the pop-ups happen, we try to dive in all the way in and figure out how we're gonna make it worth the experience, worth the drive, worth whatever you're gonna go in there and what's it called, an experience. We want to make it worth it for the customer. So it's always she comes up with the ideas. We try to make everything to theme, decorations, drinks, everything, just to make it a whole another experience. Our brewery is already pretty unique as it is, but by creating that extra environment or extra pop-up, you even push it forward.
Yeah.
Make it even, I guess, louder.
And it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
We understand that the brewery in itself is not for everybody. It's loud, it's extravagant, it's beautiful, and We appreciate every single individual that walks in there and, consumes from us. So, and then obviously now that the pop-ups do happen, that's also another, yeah, like I said, it's not for everybody, but it is, I feel like it's growing its own little fan base, and it's great. It's like I said, we have a big community behind us that supports the idea, understands that
Yeah.
we're different all around, and we never said, hey, we're this and this is who we are. We're just different, and we appreciate different. We appreciate uniqueness. We appreciate anyone that is trying to step outside the box, and trying to do something different, whether it's in the beer industry or yeah, any type of industry.
Yeah.
So
Well, I sure like it. I know I like when you guys do your teams. My favorite team of you guys is the Christmas one. I don't know if you've been to Ciudad de Mexico, but in El Zócalo, they hang all those Christmas lights, la piñata, todo eso. It reminds me of my childhood. So you guys are, at least in my case, your team-driven brewery creates a fun memory for me. So I think you guys doing the same thing for a lot of people, whether they like it or not to admit it. I think you do. It's just the same thing as when our beers, I think, create fun memories of childhood. All of my beers. I mean, I'm sure all your beers, somebody has told you, hey, this reminds me of what I just said right now, Bollies. When I saw them, I'm like, I gotta go try that one because I used to be a fan of Bollies when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I appreciate your being out there, being loud, being different. We need more on that. So
Yeah.
very very good. But now let's get to the fun part. We are gonna try one of your beers that you're trying to showcase, and I'm gonna share one of my beers that I'm trying to showcase. So you guys go first. What do we have here?
So right here we have Corazon, which is gonna be a play on a traditional pale ale. It's gonna be dry. It's gonna have those nice notes of like fermented pineapple, peach, honey. It's a pretty simple beer, straightforward, just 3 malts, 2 hops. Nothing super crazy, nothing dry hop, just straightforward. We're trying to create a more manly beer, you know?
Okay.
Because so the intention is to create that little effect where you drink it and it kind of holds on to your throat at the end with the bitterness, a little bit of hop flavor, but still manageable where you could drink more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys said it before. Everything has a story. What's the story behind Corazon?
So the name Corazon actually comes from our pop-up that we had last year, the Valentine's. Shout out to Oh Pretty for bringing it to life. So Corazon was actually the name of the pop-up, which is during Valentine's Day. So it was something that we were like, te late tu corazón, when you're with your partner, with your kids. So it's just because era el mes que se celebra pues amor, amistad. So we're like, let's make a pop-up, a Valentine's Day pop-up. So we were like, oh, it's funny because it's also, el corazón, a veces, you get dry off of love or like, so we're like, oh, let's do it, let's name it Corazon.
Okay, no, very
Y
interesting.
luego also because it's a manly beer, para que se sequen. Just, yeah.
I like the aroma.
Yeah, it's a little peach, little honey,
I got the honey right away.
and it's a pretty simple beer. We're trying to dive into that kind of situation, just to, I guess, it's to make it people understand that it's possible. It's just that's something we don't try to do because we want to stick to homebrew. We're homebrewers at heart.
Yeah.
So we want to try all these different things, but simple things are possible. Things that are going to be manly.
Yeah, and I
It's
guess like the names, I don't know. It's just one of those, like you said, you don't like using the word educating, but in a sense, that's what we try to do, because we try to just remind people that just because the brewery looks a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that the beer is going to be like extra sweet, or it's going to just be all sours, or it's just going to be, we do,
Yeah.
the traditional ways to make beer, and like you have to follow the traditional steps to get to
To
corazon or
making
to
something.
And
any
you're,
beer.
yeah, and you're right. Honey, peach. I don't get too much hops on the aroma, but that's intentional. That way,
You can-
you don't get the overbearingness at the end. You get a little bit orange peel. I think
like-
orange peel. Not too much grapefruit, like the one that grabs you, but you get it. So it's very nice. It's well balanced, well carbonated. Color is it's great. I don't feel it's a 7.2, but it's a 7.2, right?
Yeah.
So this is dangerous because I can drink four because I didn't think you don't get the heat of your palate of some of the double IPAs or the triple IPAs, and I think that's something that me as a brewer I strive when I create anything above 6, because if you don't do a good job, then you're gonna get the heat that sometimes throws people off.
No, yeah, and
It is pretty good.
if you go to a spot, you're gonna look at our menu, and nothing goes. I think the highest one we have is 8.5.
Yeah.
So we're not making beers for people to have one and kind of be like, oh, now I feel it. We're making beers where you could go and have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4,
6 at.
and still and still feel good about it. Like feel chill. They're super easy to drink. Nothing super heavy, light-bodied. Our
Yeah.
intention is for you to go and have more than 1 pint, so you could try a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Because whenever I go somewhere, I know I'm gonna try a little bit of everything and more than one.
It's gonna be a flight and then like 6 pints.
Yeah, flying. Yeah, this is actually really good. Like you guys said, for people that are looking for more of a, I'm not gonna say manly because no, I have a fruit palate, like you can tell.
No, yeah.
I have a very fruity palate, so it doesn't make you manly or not. For more of a traditional approach, but without having the traditional bite, this is something that you guys need to come and try at your brewery. I like it. Personally, I like IPAs. I don't like them when they have too much resin or piney bite.
Yeah.
I don't mind if it hits me and then it goes away, but that's just my palate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of people. I have friends that they're like, "Hey, when are you gonna give me something that grabs me?" And eventually I will.
Yeah.
I'll venture into that world. But for now, yeah, this is a really good IPA, clean, crisp, malty, honey. It coats your palate, and it doesn't feel like a 7.2. So yeah, I'll have a 4.
And then it's one of those things where, like I said, every beer, no matter where you go, you're gonna have a base, and it's up to the brewer or whoever's in charge of the process to figure out how to make it work with either fruit or whatever you're gonna add it to transform it.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. I mean, our beer is beer. It's real beer. It's just we approach it differently, and we try to highlight the flavors that we intend to highlight. Like if we say this beer is supposed to resemble this, and we're gonna try our best to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And that, in that sense, it's figuring out how to balance your hops, your malt, and the additions you're adding. And simplicity sometimes is key. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. We've learned from people that tell you like keep it simple, stupid. So it works, and one beer could become 3, 4, 5, depending on how you approach it.
Yeah. I can agree more. And then for transparency, we didn't talk about doing this, right? Because I'm seeing a coincidence in this podcast. You brought something different now it's out of your box because your flavor profiles are more out there. I'm the same way. I brought something different that doesn't resemble. And I was expecting to be fruity, and you probably expect I would throw something out that's similar to you guys.
yeah.
But we went the other way, and
No,
Yeah,
it's not
no,
planned.
no.
It's not planned.
so let me share with you guys this one. This is Toro Noble. It's actually a collaboration with Buena Vista, my friends at Buena Vista, Chuck and Phil in Watsonville. Again, this is more of a traditional approach, but a little bit be out there. It's an Imperial Hoppy Pilsner, so it's 8%. 8%. I personally haven't seen a lot of Imperial Pilsners. I seem hoppy, but not imperial. Not both at the same time. And I says it's a way, my way of
Okay.
challenging me to create something more unique, um, more in the box instead of out of the box. You get the multi flavors. It almost tastes like a Belgian blonde, but it's not. You get a little bit of sweetness, candy, crisp, like a pilsner, and then at the end, the super size that I use for the hops gets you a little bit. It's almost like closing the all the sweetness, and that oh you don't get the bite. So like I said, we didn't plan this. We both brought something that is
No, yeah, I noticed right now.
in the box, not out of the box.
Yeah.
And this one has been doing very well, even though it's a traditional um, Pilsner. It's three things at once: the imperial, it's a hoppy, and it's not something that you would expect. People see the hoppy or the imperial and they get scared.
No, yeah.
And I'm like, try, and then you let me know. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let me know what you think. ¿La tiro o la sigo haciendo?
Oh, it's good.
It doesn't feel like 8%, but it does hit you like 8%.
Ahorita que salgas.
No, yeah, I like it. It's bready
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. It has that residual sweetness, but it's not overbearing. It acts like it makes you want to go in and take another sip.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
And
It's
at
like
the
I
end,
want to keep.
at the end, you get like a little floral note in your palate. It's something that is crushable for sure. Light body. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
one
nice.
malt, one hop, one yeast. But just a lot more of all those three things. So yeah, I'm very proud of it. Like I said, it's a traditional approach, but always trying to showcase, lo mexicano que somos. Oro Noble obviously is mexicano.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, it was a collaboration with my friends at Buenavista, and we did a good job. I can't wait to make it again. But yeah, this is something that I want to do it for a while. So I got the opportunity to do it with them, and
Yeah,
here we are.
it's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
So what do you guys think about all the new, well, not all of it, but the new breweries, that popping up? In my opinion, we need more in Salinas or Monterey County. But what do you guys think? You guys think are we doing a good job? You did a good job with opening one here.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple of ones coming, maybe to the scenery Salinas. But what do you guys think about that?
We're up for it. The intention of creating something in downtown Salinas was to create a more lively and aware community of the craft beer scene. Up until we started building if you want to get a good craft beer, you would have to go to Excelia, right? Excel was the only place where you could get nice, good craft beer here in downtown. And then we came in, of course, like Andina came in, and then now we have Alvarado.
Yeah,
So it's like a beer stroll. You could do a beer walk,
almost.
a
Yeah,
beer crawl, and you could hit every spot from one end to the other, and you're gonna find interesting offerings.
Yeah.
Everything's so different, everything with their own little take on it, and that's what beer should be about. It shouldn't be about trying to replicate or be someone else. You're being your own. There's already an Alvarado. Be
Yeah.
your own. Offered something different, and whether people understand it or not, then that's on them because you're offering something that most people like, different. You don't want to have the same old beer everywhere you go. It would be kind of boring if you go to Excel and they have all hazy on tap. You go to Brew and Krew, it's all hazy on tap. You go to La Cantina, it's all hazy on tap. And you go to Alvarado, it's all hazy on tap. Union, all hazy on tap. Then what's the point?
Yeah.
You're trying to seek that different,
yeah,
seek that interesting, seek the innovation. At least for people to understand or love beer, I feel like that should be your goal. Always trying to figure out who's doing something new and giving them the opportunity, don't say, oh, I went and had one beer, I didn't like it, so all their beer sucks.
Yeah,
you have to-
exactly, man.
So you have to go in there with an open mind, be open-minded.
Yeah.
Salinas has something great going, and it starts with Excel, and obviously we're right here innovating, giving people something different, whether they want to admit it or not, like you said earlier. And everybody's watching. You know, they say they're not, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you're in your lens, in their
Yeah.
lens. So
I would say, yeah. I think if you guys want to, whoever is willing to come in and take the dive into opening up a brewery or opening just a business in itself, it's like go for it. If you, I'm a huge risk taker, so I'm always like going to be the person telling you you could do it because technically, realistically, you can do it. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be easy work, but
Yeah.
it's definitely possible. Anyone, I've always said, anyone that even needs help or assistance in learning how to open up a brewery, we're here. We're at 155 Main Street. So you need some help. We'll tell you what it took for us to build a brewery, the headaches, the crying sessions that we went through. But yeah, it's definitely possible, and we welcome it. Like I said, there's room for everyone and anyone. So
Yeah, yeah, and it's I was talking to JC about this. That's the main reason why I started to fall in love with the craft beer industry. The los unidos que somos. You don't see another one on the street industries. You don't. You you see, one here, one there. They don't help each other. They don't say it out loud to the public. Hey, come and ask me.
yeah,
Come and
for
ask me.
sure.
The worst I can tell you is I don't know, and the best I can tell you is how not to do it to avoid your headache that I went through. So that's something that I really appreciate um, from the brewer business standpoint. And I come from Santa Cruz, so over there the brewers, they're all like, "Hey, how are you? What do you need?" Here, JC's always being available, to us. And then, but being said that, we're here in Salinas, I don't think we have well, I'm gonna say it like this. I don't think we have done a good job to explain y inculcar the brewer's way. When they come here at La Cantina, they don't do what they do in Santa Cruz. They don't ask for a taster. They don't ask for flights. But I tell all my customers, try all of them before
Oh,
you
yeah.
commit. Try all of them, no charge. That's the way I was taught. That's the way I see other brewers doing it. Um, and when we hear people get surprised, what do you mean? All of them? Yeah, all of them. I got 16 on tap. Try all 16 before you commit. I'd rather you try them all and commit to what you want than commit to something that
That
you're
you're
not
gonna.
gonna like. And people get surprised here in Salinas. Here in Salinas, people get surprised when I tell them that. So I think we need to do a better job, or just remind people that hey, this is our way. This is the way. We're here to support. We're here to help. We're here to share. And I think we need to do a better job. Not because we're not. It takes time.
No, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes time for people to grasp on and understand what's being done. Like you also mentioned earlier that sometimes sometimes it's just like the community. Like they just have to be. They have to let go and kind of understand that it has to be open minded and just try everything at least once in your lifetime,
Once.
and then you'll figure out if you liked it or not. Uh, Everybody could give me the same malt, the same hops, the same yeast, and do that to you, do that to JC, and everybody's gonna come up with something different. Just because beer, it's a take on your individualism, your take on something,
Yeah.
because everything is subjective. It's the way you think, because the way your palate develop, and you're gonna create something that's gonna kind of speak for the way you taste things.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
So,
Um, I know it's a question that you're gonna have an answer right away. But how important it is for you guys to be involved in the community, personally and your business? And I know being a native from Salinas, has to be very important for you guys. So how important it is, what you guys do or trying to do about it, how can you guys bring community more to get involved with you guys and your business?
Um, so yeah, community has been a huge part of both of our lives. I mean, just because one, we were born and raised here, born and raised in East Salinas and to farm working, parents. And when we were deciding where to build the brewery, we had so many other cities when we were already here. So many cities reach out telling you, "Hey, come to our city. Like, we will not give you a hard time. Come to our city." Even when we had our signage issue, we had other cities saying like, "Hey, that this would have never happened over here." But it was very important for us to stick here because one, we were born here, we were raised here, and we love Salinas. Like, we love Salinas, and we love the community here. And we wanted to be a prime example, not only to our kids, to my fellow students, and just anybody watching, that people from Salinas can build something. Two East Side kids built a brewery in downtown Salinas, and we don't come from money. We're, like I said, our parents worked in the fields for many years. Many years. Steven's parents still worked in the fields last year. And we're just regular people, we're just regular people. We're your neighbors. We still live in East Salinas. And also giving back to our community is very important to us. We have, personally, I have a very warm spot for educators because I used to be an educator. So I know what it is to have a classroom or be a teacher and not have enough funds or not have enough of this to be able to provide for your students, or make it exciting. So just giving back is important. So we try to do that as much as possible, whether it's like donating conchas, whether it's me and Steven dressing up as the Grinch or Cindy Lou Who and visiting classroom. It's just being able to give something back. Like I said, we don't come from money, but whatever we can provide, whether it's assistance, whether it's even donating pan dulce, leche, or anything like that to our community members. We used to do haircuts too. We used to donate haircuts or school supplies. One, because we give our community what the community gives to us. And so far, it's given nothing but love and appreciation. So, oh yeah, why wouldn't we give back to them? So,
Salinas is a good community. I'm not from Salinas, from Watson, but when I was trying to open this brewery, I lived here before 3 years, before a short time, and I just fell in love with the people here. It's really interesting city, all kinds of walks of life. It's very has a lot of cultura,
Yeah.
especially our cultura.
No, yeah.
But City Salinas and the people here, they're phenomenal. A lot of love, like you said, a lot of welcoming, a lot of love, and then once they find out we're here, they completely accept us. That's been my experience with City Salinas. So, thank you for doing that. You guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, like what's something I would want to ask, or like so it's what drives you to want to be different, or in your case, like obviously similar kind of take on beer, but what drives you? Like what are you trying to showcase when you make your beers the way you make your beers?
Well, it's similar to your answer. My culture plays a lot of role in what I do, but it's just for me it's easy to be out of the box. So I come from Mexico, not from here, born and half raised in Guadalajara. So completely raised with another culture, another set of eyes, flavors, palates, all that. But what drives me is what you said. Let's give people something different. Doesn't have to be loud, or it can be loud. It can be both, but something different, something different, and let's share nuestra cultura, which I think we need more of that. Even though we are a lot of Mexicanos here in this country, we need a lot more of the right cultura. A lot of things have misconceptions about Mexicanos, and I'm not trying to again educate anybody. I'm just gonna share what I think it's something that I live in my paladares, sabores, and that was driving. Especially that's what drives me. But what motivates me is when you see other people, they get wow with whatever I produce. I didn't think it can be possible. Well, me neither, but here it is. You know, it's here. It's not going anywhere. It's motivation for me to stay, keep innovating, and the innovation part. It's to me, it's easy because, like I said, it's out of the box. Some mechanos, we always have this creativity. It's all automatic chip,
Yeah.
you know, in consumer culture. So yeah, that's probably my number one motivation. Just keep bringing new things, awareness of things, and you never know who you're gonna inspire. You know, you never know who you're gonna inspire. Maybe out of this podcast, another young girl reached out to you. Hey, can I be an apprentice? I know I have been reached out a lot, but I wasn't ready. Now I'm ready. But yeah, a lot of people have thanked me for doing what I do, and I'm like, to me, it comes naturally. I'm not doing it to get thanks. I'm just doing it for a challenge, for my personal challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for asking that. And then, what about you guys? What's going on with Brewing Krew? What's new? Any new styles coming up? Any new events are coming up? Any new fiestas coming up?
Well, we're celebrating our 2-year anniversary.
That's right.
March
Sunday.
17th, yes, on Sunday. So we have exciting things planned for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But yeah, I mean, I think this entire weekend is going to be popping for everybody.
Yeah.
So we're
It's gonna be a
excited.
good weekend, good
It's
weekend
going to
for
be a good weekend. So we invite everybody to come out and just show love to all our fellow neighbors and stop at the brewery, like Steven mentioned. You could bar hop literally from the end to the other end.
other
So yeah.
Any new beers coming up?
So
New styles? Well, not styles, flavors.
So we do have, like I said earlier, I mean, stouts are weird sometimes just because they don't move as fast as we want. But stouts, one of the styles that I love. I enjoy stout beer. It's flavorful. It's rich. You get a lot of different notes in there. So we do. We're gonna tap something special. That's a play on a Mexican hot chocolate, but like the traditional spicy chocolate. Like like a chocolate, like
Oh no, chocolate.
yeah,
So spicy.
yeah, spicy. So we're gonna have that for this weekend, and since it's St. Patrick's Day, everybody's gonna look for a stout, and we're not gonna do green beer, but we will have pink beer.
Yeah, we don't do green beer. We do pink beer.
There we go.
Yeah,
Celebrate Women's History Month and
That's
celebrate.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and celebrate our anniversary.
Okay,
So,
well,
yeah.
I'll be there on the 17th. To congratulate you guys and
Thank you.
sure.
try that stout,
for sure.
to try the pink beer, and then anything
And our
else.
beer cocktails.
Estos. I am on try that. Especially the margarita, right?
The mula.
La mula.
No,
Dice
la
mula.
mula. Is it
mula.
strong? Is it like high in alcohol?
No, actually, it's more intended to kind of mask the flavor of beer. A lot of the consumers are gonna be women, so they don't want a hoppy beer or malty beer. So we actually blend that one in with a light beer that has kind of like a blonde profile, a little bit of apple in there, and it's pretty mellow. It is a big pour. It's like 20 ounces, so it's half beer and then half a mix. But it's pretty mellow, nothing crazy. It's just pretty much just to mask the flavor of the beer, but it's really good.
And that's actually a good skill to have, because if you ever bartend regular liquor cocktails, that's the key. Not to let you taste the alcohol, all the flavors, all the aroma, and then make you have not one but 12.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good job for that one. I will
Yeah.
stop by,
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure, anytime.
you guys heard it. Come and celebrate 2-year anniversary
Yeah.
Yeah.
of Brewing Krew, and then try the beer cocktails, try the Corazon, try the stout. Come and have a party with us, and then thank you again, everyone, for all the support of this podcast. I promise you, I do a better job every time I interview somebody else.
No, you're
No,
natural, man. You're
yeah,
natural.
you are.
And
Thank you so much for having us. We
Thank you guys,
appreciate
and
it.
this was Craft Cerveza Talk. To the next episode. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
¿Qué pasó?
Ahí está.